What's going on, boys and girls? My name is VK and welcome back to the Phenomenal Creations channel. Hope you guys all doing well. Today we have a pretty cool special episode here. We're going to do something I'm really passionate about, and that is motion graphics. And as well as you might know, if you want to create really cool, smooth, and creative motion graphics, they are pretty time consuming to do. They might require a lot of working hours, and they even might require a skill set from you don't maybe possess or you don't know how to achieve. Well, today I'm discovering or playing around with a plugin that will help you out in this. The guys over at Mr. Horse sent out Animation Composer for me to show, play, and demonstrate to you. And essentially what the plugin is that it will help you create tile animations, 3D layer animations, and camera transitions, and a couple other cool aces up their sleeves, which I'm gonna show you in this video too. Basically will make it very easy and quick to do cool, smooth, and creative animations which are highly customizable. You can probably see some of them happening already on the screen, syncing into my voice and stuff. We're gonna go ahead and see how you can start experimenting with this plugin right now today. I want to throw a disclaimer out there that yes, the guys from Mr. Horse did send a couple of these purchasable packs for me to demonstrate to you. The plugin for itself is completely free of charge. They have a really cool free starter pack that will get you started on this, so you will get something out of this too. But I'm gonna just show you a couple cool things they also can do out of their awesome cool presets pack they have available. Alright, if nothing else, let's go ahead and jump into Adobe After Effects and see what the Animation Composer plugin is actually all about. Let's go ahead and jump in. Alright, boys and girls, welcome inside Adobe After Effects. Today I have made 3 examples and rigged 3 different compositions to show you what you can do with the Animation Composer. I have the first one is a 3D layer animation, probably one of the things you're going to use most. Then we have some filmmaking camera transitions happening in the second example. And then we have the third, which is like special effects and stuff. I'm going to show you all the little kinky, little nice things Animation Composer also packs. But first things first, how do we get the Animation Composer visible on the screen? Once you've installed it, and when you do, it's very easy, very intuitive. They have great instructions when you install it. We go up to Window and we click Animation Composer and it just plops up in here. If it floats around like this, then you can like move it around, put it here so you can see visible on the screen. When you install Animation Composer, you also get a couple of different tools here. You get Anchor Point Mover, Preview Grid, Transition Shifter, and Keyframe Wingman. And those are also pretty cool, like mini plugins. The Anchor Point Mover, pretty much self-explanatory. If you have a layer, you want to reposition the anchor point, now you can use this to reposition to any corner or snap into the middle. Then the Keyframe Wingman, if you're doing a lot of animations, this is also real cool. You can like select a keyframe, make it easy ease, and then select how much easy easing is happening without going into the spline editor and doing it manually. So that is also pretty cool. But here in the Animation Composer, this is pretty much what we see transition presets. So basically all the presets for the text animations and layer animations. In the pre-comps, we can see all this cool stuff of the different purchasable packs you can download for Animation Composer, like transitions, backgrounds, textures, lower thirds, and all this kind of cool stuff. We're going to dive into those deeper in a little bit. But right now, let's go ahead and focus on the first example here, which is 3D layer animation. So let's take a look on this little composition I have created here. So we have this aerial footage, we have a cool 3D layer, some 3D text and 3D animations happening here, and then we get another element happening in the background, and we can see they're pretty nicely tracked in 3D. And they have a correct amount of parallax effect since they are in this virtual 3D space so far away from each other that we can get this cool 3D effect. But also you might have seen that we are having this little virtual camera depth effect happening, like we're shifting focus, we have focus on the cool 3D layer animations, and then we're shifting it to the help you elevate. And then you can see when the camera moves past that layer, we get more and more of this depth effect. We're like creating a virtual camera effect here. So I'm going to show you how to break like the breakdown of this composition. I won't show you step by step how I made this button by button from scratch, since that would just waste a lot of minutes from this demonstration itself. So let's go ahead and jump in to see how I created this scene using and made these animations using the Animation Composer plugin, which is super intuitive inside Adobe After Effects. Alright, so to begin with, we have to take steps back, basically shut everything off except for our main footage, which is just some stock footage of a drone, which I got from a royalty-free website, pretty much just like this. And the first thing we need to do is to track our footage. So what I have done here, if we go to the effects and presets, I have just a basic like After Effects 3D camera tracker. And what I did is I selected points here from the foreground and created a null, and then I went to the distance also and created a null from the distance here too. And the null object which we see here, number 1, number 2, pretty much is only like anchor points for us to paste their position data, their 3D position data to any 3D layer, for example text layers in our example. So if I create a text layer, I can just copy paste these tracking points or anchor points, null points, position data to that text layer, and then we'll boop, jump in here and it's correctly positioned in the 3D space. That's the only thing we created this nulls for. So we have one here, like one there, we can see one there, and then we have one here. The next thing we did is we created some text, and this is pretty much the text layer I did. If I open up this pre-comp, and inside this text comp, we can see that I have just created this real simple, cool 3D layer animations like text layout here. And then what I have already applied this animation here, which is super easily customizable. You can have this little slider here and you can select how long you want the animation to be. So that's pretty cool, but I'm just now gonna delete this animation so you can see how I applied it. So I delete it over here and I delete the control layer over here. So what I do is I find from the transition presets the text, animate words, scale, basic, and I have the number 1 here. And then only what I need to do is to click apply for in. And I can also apply for out if I just want it to like fade away or animate out of the scene. Or then I can have both. Then it animates in and then it animates out. And of course you can like decide how long apart when it animates in and when it animates out. But I just want to animate in. I go to the first frame, click apply, like that, click play, and here I have my animation. It's pretty cool. Jumping back to the main composition, then what we can see here that now we have that cool animation layer and that 3D layer is tracked to our scene. You can see this little spinning action going on, and that is just one of the 3D layer animations from the 3D layer transformation panel. How I did that is like this little spinny do. But I'm going to show you this in the other text example. Alright, so once I had taken handled the animations for the first element with the Animation Composer, then I moved on to my second one. What I did is that I just created a text element, again just like a pure text element like this, and just started typing stuff. Super easy. I'm gonna delete that. I typed in helps you elevate, and what I did is I turned 3D and then I copy pasted the track null position data, copy, and then paste. It jumped up in here in the virtual 3D space, scaled it up, and now boom, I had my perfectly tracked scene. But you can see I have also animations here. Same thing what I did. I have the helps you elevate here, and I had this first like animation here, scale words from end. It's pretty much the same one I used in the first element. We can see the preview of all the transitions I have on the layer, which is super handy when you're working with a lot of effects and a lot of layers. Keep yourself organized. And then what I did is after I put like a transition or basically an animation to the text, the character itself, then I made like this super easy position layer effect on top of it. Since now I have two different kind of animations on top of each other, you can combine them. And then the combination of that is that you can see, have this render for a bit like that. You can see how the like the words pop up in different timings. You can see just as in the preview here. And then we also have this easies happening over here. And since this was so far away, originally this was like minus 900 if I recall, like this, and it seemed like it didn't animate from up to down at all. But it's because it was so far away that this didn't seem so exponential. So how you change that, also super easily customizable. You can see here in the control setting, the original starting point is minus 900. I can change it to 2000, and then we can see that it comes from a little bit higher up. Now we can see that we have that cool easy easing happening. And the best part of all of this is that this is completely dynamic. So what I can do is I can just double click here and type in like, hi, my name is VK. And then what I can do is I can take the my name is, turn it to maybe like a lighter font here, go to the high, make it italic. And the best part is that now you can see that the word animations and the easies, like the drop down effect is exactly the same. It's completely dynamic, and this is really cool that you can just create something, and if you want to change the text or you're doing some client work, you don't have to re-render or re-animate everything. Everything is just dynamic and works. That's super cool and saves so much time when you're working with these kind of things. All right, the last thing to point out here is this 3D or camera depth effect look. Super easy crash course. You go to the camera, which is created when you have done 3D tracking. You go to the drop down menu, and in the camera options, you can see depth of field. That will by default is on off, so you won't have any depth effect. You click that on, and what you do is that you turn out the aperture. When you turn up the aperture, you can see that you're creating more like blur, pretty much. And then you use the focus distance slider. And you can see that I'm on something like 21,000 values. It's pretty high numbers, but that's okay. So I found the point where this was in focus, and then I added a keyframe. And then since the camera is moving virtually, then I have to like keep focus, like with the focus wheel. I moved the slider, so this is still in focus. And then when the other element is coming, we can see that it's already out of focus, but now I have created another keyframe here where I want to like rack focus virtually to the next element. And then I keep the focus on there, and you can see that since we're doing a depth effect with the camera, it's always as the element is coming closer to the camera or more to the eye, you can see how it blurs more and more, creating this really cool 3D layer or a 3D composite here. Then what I did is I added some color grading, and then I pretty much had my layer right there. This will take a little time to run preview, but the basic idea here is that you get this really cool and dynamic like character and text and 3D layer animations. So now let's go ahead and move on to the second example, which is the camera transitions. Alright, so in our second example, we are talking about camera transitions, and those really smooth and bulgy and chromatic aberration, this really nice transition we see a lot out there in the industry, but these are done so well. So here the pre-comps, filmmakers transitions. If we go to bulge, we can see different kinds of this cool in the preview here. Some really nice different kind of bulge and zooms and rolls, and these are super nice different kind of transitions. So I created this little sequence here, which we can look here. We can look at here that we have I just compiled different kind of transitions here, which I think look really, really nice. And those professional transitions users out there, if you think I used these wrong, you can explain it down in the comment section. I'm not here to do something super stylistic. I'm just here to demonstrate how these work, and they look pretty amazing in my opinion. They're super nice, and when you put them into right kind of footage, they look really nice and can add to your story. But of course, as with everything, don't overuse transitions like this. Now, of course, in this sequence, I did overuse them, but that is only because I wanted to demonstrate how these work. And these also have a lot of like sound elements. You can like click and add sound when you add some of these transitions, but you won't be here. But those are like those. Okay, you can keep me crazy if I did those. I did those with my mouth. Give me a break. All right, so how I did this is crazy simple. How I did this is I have all my shots here. I can delete this last like transition. I don't even have to select the clip I'm gonna use because it's just gonna go create like a pre-comp, but I'm just selecting it so it gets my like the horizontal and my resolution. What I go is I go to like the filmmaker transitions, I go to bulge, I can think this looks pretty nice. I go to the bulge and rotation, I can select if I want bottom left, bottom right, top left, or top like top right, pretty much. And then I can just click add. Then it adds it, and then we do just a little render preview here. And boom. So now let's check this out. Smooth, nice, chromatic aberrations and all this like cool lens distortions and stuff. I really like that. That's pretty much it. It's super simple with the camera transitions. It's super easy to do and in After Effects. So you just have to go and crush it. I think this is definitely a pack that you should consider if you are getting interested in the animation composer as a whole. Now let's go ahead and move to the last section as the special effects section of this demonstration. So here I have a little scene with two people fighting, stock footage of course, and what we can see here is I've added a couple of different special effects or 2D special effects. These are pretty niche on what you can do with them, but they are pretty freaking awesome. These are like these 2D nice, what you can see in some videos, some people use them like this anime style kind of like 2D layer. I go to 2D like electric, we can see here in the preview this nice cool like anime style in a way, energy, electric, fire. Then we have some combos like fire and smoke, for example. We can get like fire and smoke. They look really nice here. And some things really work with these, having this, for example, the liquid elements work really nice with motion graphics when you are animating words and have this on top of them, or just use these electric files and put those into your motion graphic scenes. I have just now selected this scene because I thought it was cool to like give it an electric punch and laser punch. Yeah, so these are pretty cool. And of course, for those super anime fans, we have the speeds. And these are also super easy to add here. You just click add and that's it. And you can select the duration. For example, I can select a 5-second duration and then click replace. And now I replace the original one, and now I have a 5-second long this cool special effect thing happening. It looks pretty cool. And then, of course, what we do have is also they have a sound pack. They have the essential sound packs here. We have like a lot of these like bleeps and bloops and clicks and clanks and all this kind of cool stuff, which you can like drop in and put in. You can change the pitch of the element, and then you can just like reverse the like the clip, and so easy to add in here. Just click add and then you have those little sounds in here. It's just super nice to have all these kind of effects and sounds and pre-comps and all this kind of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool presets packs out there, on Mr. Horse TV's website, and you definitely have to go check them out. And remember, the Animation Composer plugin is free. You can go down to the description, download right now. You get this free starter pack, which is basically in the transition, you get some 2D layer transitions, you get some 3D and some text transitions. You get combined 150 animated presets and sounds all combined, so you get 150 elements to play with completely free. And then of course you can buy more packs for you, and they are really reasonably priced, from $49 and up depending on how big of a pack you're getting. And then they have also these big bundles where they're bundling a lot of packs, and you like the filmmaker bundle, and you save a ton of cash when working with that. So that's pretty cool. And now yeah, that was pretty much for the demonstration inside Adobe After Effects. Hope you guys did enjoy that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give me a like and a comment down below. Don't forget to go check out MrHorses.tv's website and the Animation Composer plugin over from their website. Download it today, get started with the free starter pack, and start elevating your animation game. If you haven't considered subscribing to the channel, please do consider subscribing if you never want to miss out on a future video project. We do visual effects, color grading, video editing, and also occasional some camera gear review. If you're into that stuff, definitely consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell so you never miss out on a future project. My name is VK. Until the guys next time, see ya.